You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for October 14th through the 18th. Fiona is finally exposed as the hit and run driver, and Steve Johnson is seriously scheming. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and as we always do on the early edition spoilers, we're going to walk through what's happening the rest of this week to give you some context for next week. With that in mind, Wednesday, October 9th, Xander tells Sarah about the Dr. Rolf miracle serum that Kristen has offered him and the terms of the offer, which are get Brady out of jail, don't press charges, have Sarah withdraw the statement, all that stuff. Sarah knows that Dr. Rolf is sketchy, so she's a little apprehensive about that. But Xander knows what a miracle worker that Rolf is, because remember, he was a henchman for Kristen back when she had that warehouse in Nashville that was full of all those people they had resurrected. Ava Vitale, EJ DiMera, Jack Deveraux was still in there at that point. I think there was all those doors with the initials, remember? So Sarah gets excited because this seems promising. I mean, it would take nothing short of a miracle cure, and crazy and weird as Dr. Rolf is, he is a miracle worker. And Eric confronts Melinda Trask about the baby Jude swap. He's got some things to say to her about her conspiring with his ex-wife, Sloane Peterson. And Fiona is going over to see Brady at the jail. She really, really wants to tell him the truth about the accident, but we all know she's really, really not going to do it. She just can't work up the nerve. And Stefan talks to EJ and tells him that his marriage to Gabi is over. They have agreed that everything is just too broken and they are going to get a divorce. Gabi will be out of the hospital this week and back at the mansion. I don't know if it's to stay or if it's just to pick up her stuff and head over to Rafe's house and move in there with him. That seems like it'd probably be a better option. Thursday, October 10th, fake Abigail is in Paris with Chad, and she is doing all she can to rekindle this fake romance, and she's pretending to be his dead wife, and poor Chad is falling for it. Sarah heads over to see District Attorney EJ DiMera to withdraw her witness statement saying that Brady Black was the hit and run driver, and EJ will not accommodate. He absolutely refuses to let Sarah take it back. Doesn't seem like he should be able to say no, but maybe he's making a perjury threat. We'll see. And Maggie Horton spends some time hanging out with Julie Williams. They've got a lot of stuff to catch up on, like Xander's mom sleeping with Brady, like, you know, Abby being back from the dead. I wonder if Julie is going to tell her that, like everybody that meets her, that something's not quite right. They want to have faith, and Chad is so excited, but it's all so dodgy. Meanwhile, Eric corners Fiona, looks like it's at the Brady pub, and he grills her about the night of Sarah's accident and looks like he's going to openly accuse her of being the hit and run driver. And again, I expect her to deny. Friday, October 11th wraps up this week as Maggie talks to Holly about Nicole Walker. And of course, Holly is angry at Nicole. She is angry at Eric. All the time they lied to her. She's 17 now. I'm trying to remember what age. She's actually in her 20s, the actress is. And the guy playing Tate is 26 and married, by the way. So I think she's supposed to be about 17. So for all these years, you know, reasonably, they could have told her at least a few years ago when she was old enough to really understand it. But Holly feels like that her mom is choosing baby Jude and their life with Eric over her, and that she is protecting Eric, even though he killed her dad. And there's just no excuse for it as far as Holly is concerned. And Maggie is going to try to talk her down about it. Eric and Sarah get together. They are comparing notes about Fiona and Brady and what everybody has said happened the night of the accident. And finally, some of her memories may be breaking loose. Xander is so desperate to get Sarah the cure, and he's so frustrated that EJ is not going to let them do what Kristen demanded and take back that witness statement. He decides to try and pull the wool over Kristen's eyes. That is not going to go well. When they worked together, she was the brains of the operation and he was the brawn of the operation. So I wish him luck trying to trick her. And Abigail is desperate to save her mother's life. And so we have Fabi proposing to Chad. I should have said fake Abigail is desperate. I always have quotation marks around Abigail on my notes, but you guys can't see those. So that's why I stick with Fabi. All right, going into the week of October 14th through the 18th, Steve Johnson knew from the moment he saw Fabi that that was not his niece. And he already asked Kayla to run another paternity, it was a paternity test, basically, because they were matching her against Jack. And he is not gonna put up with this because it is hurting Chad. He knows it will hurt Chad and Abby's kids. So he has a plan and he kicks it off. He is definitely going to out this woman. He doesn't know what she's up to, but he's not going to let it slide. Meanwhile, Xander confronts Fiona over what she did to Sarah. So yes, the truth is finally out. It looks like Sarah actually gets her full memories back. And maybe when Marlena hypnotized her, it, unlocked something in her mind and she just needed time to process it. But the truth is out. There's going to be heck to pay. And I do wonder if Fiona is just going to run. Not wait to see if she's going to be arrested. Just run back to the UK where she last was. Meanwhile, Johnny DiMera is preparing to confront his cheating wife, Chanel Dupree, about her infidelity. The only problem is she didn't cheat on him. He had that nightmare about Alex and Chanel doing the deed in front of him. And then he walked in on Alex doing stuff with Stephanie, and all he saw was Alex's muscular back and didn't stick around to see that it was somebody who looks nothing like his wife writhing on the bed underneath Alex. So Chanel is definitely going to wonder what is wrong with him when he comes at her with this nonsense. Maybe he'll figure it out before then, but I doubt it. Jumping to conclusions is what we do on soap operas. And then we have JJ Deveraux back in town Thursday, October 17th, and he is going to officiate Chad and Fabi's wedding. And he was already legally married to Abigail at the time of her death, but he wasn't legally married to this woman, the imposter, and they're going to say their I do's. It does happen. Rings on fingers, legally hitched. And Sarah and Xander go together to pressure EJ to let Brady go now that they know for certain he was not the driver. Now, I do wonder if they are going to come completely clean and say, you have to let Brady go because it's Fiona, or if they are just going to pressure him about letting Brady go, but not reveal it was Xander's mom. Because EJ would probably be pretty happy to arrest Xander's mom just to spite Xander. And JJ and Holly compare some notes about Fabi as next week ends. It sounds like her time might be up soon as well, because things go off the rails at the wedding reception. Maybe that's when Steve shows up with his plan coming to fruition to out this woman as a fake. And a real quick piece of casting news, October 28th, look for Al Calderon to debut. His character name may be Javi. It's not been confirmed yet. Looks like he is probably somebody close to Gabi and Rafe, but the big news is he seems to be destined to be Leo Stark's big new love interest, according to chatter in the soap sphere.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.